I mentioned the other day that I have an industry insider who's spilling the beans for me on what's going on and all this stuff. So we're going to actually go back a couple years to DC's future state. Now, this was another failed relaunch initiative by DC in order to usher in the next generation, like always. Now, they're trying it again with Dawn of DC, where they're relaunching all their titles again with an all new #1 collector's edition. We'll see how it works this time. You know, it's going to be the same sort of sliding scale into just obscurity as DC Comics just can't seem to get their act together on any front. Now, Gail Simone talked about it, and of course, the fact that they don't actually care about what came before, there's no sense of continuity and all that, matters now, because it's like, why would you bother caring about the Flash #1 or what's going on in Batman now, when it's just going to get erased by the next writer coming down the line? But there were weird things happening back when this was going on. Now, DC originally called it the 5G initiative because, of course, they are owned by AT&T and all that, or Verizon. I can't remember which one. So they're trying to tie in the line titles to how, of course, the Cell stuff that was going on at the same time. And they had retailer conferences, which I'm going to get to in just a moment. Now, guys, if you're new to the channel, please give a subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys. We are uncovering and doing the journalism in comics and in pop culture in ways that really nobody else covers. I uncover a lot more stories than other people. I write up them for Bounding Into Comics. A lot of people out there just read Bounding Into Comics articles. And of course, we're going to be working for other news agencies also. That'll be announcing that very soon. But we are also making our own content. We're not just complaining about things like a lot of these people on the internet. I'm writing comics. I'm writing novels. I'm writing short stories, all sorts of things. And we're putting those up on my Subscribestar. Really, the goal here at the end of the day is to get 300 people on here, and then it's going to be a self-sustaining thing where I can produce monthly comics like at the rate Marvel and DC does. That's the dream right now. So right now we're doing exactly what we can afford with the art, which is a few pages a month. I just put up a book called Extrasensory, the first few pages of it for you guys to check out. I'm writing a Zorro story also. I hope you'll enjoy it. And please get on here. Support our alternative to culture, because we are doing what other people are only claiming they're trying to do. So please, we really appreciate you guys. We've been growing huge over the last month, almost a 33% increase. So thank you so much for everybody who's believing in this dream. We're going to build. We're going to get bigger. We're going to go forward. And like Ripa says, we will win. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up here. The DC future state. And this is the Lucius Fox Batman. Now, DC's future state was a glimpse into the future and all that. And of course, they were going to make replacement characters and things like this. Now, what DC actually intended about for this, according to a retailer that I know, was that DC was going to go out there and say that this was the Batman going forward. And the intention here was to entirely replace Batman Bruce Wayne in the Batman comic as the black replacement character. They wanted to do this because, you know, they saw that Marvel was doing this with Spider-Man with Miles Morales, and they've got Miles Morales Spider-Man and all that. And so they wanted to do this with DC too, so that you know, that we can all have a black character as every single thing, right? It's ridiculous. It is, of course, making every character just based on their skin color. And of course, nobody wants to read about that. It's not a lot of fun. So the retailers in the summit actually spoke up when this was announced. And what I was told is that when Dan DiDio was pitching this, that Dan DiDio did not seem enthused about this in the least. Now, Dan didn't talk to me about this at all. We did our interview a couple weeks ago. You can go watch this on the channel. But I was told by outsiders that that he was looking like he was sweating bullets, like DC Comics was pushing this upon him, and he didn't really want to do this. This was not like he was. It seemed like he was fearing for his job at the time. And of course, the higher ups, the crazy corporate people, all want to push this like diversity thing. They just think it's a great deal. Now, the retailers spoke up and said, you know what? If you replace Batman and put a black guy in the Batman title, be prepared for your book sales to be cut to like a third of what they were. We can't do this. Batman's one of the few DC books that actually sells. You cannot do this. And there was a lot of pushback from the retailers. And this is why the Future State sort of initiative thing became just a quick mini series sort of event and then got abandoned really quickly. They knew at DC Comics that the retailers were going to revolt and there was going to be a major problem, and it was going to shut down stores if they did this. Uh, they're still going forward with a lot of weird stuff at DC Comics, of course, and at Marvel Comics. And of course, these companies don't seem to learn from these mistakes. They don't even seem to care at the end of the day what the retailers want or what the retailers tell them is going to be good for the industry. At this point, these companies are just keeping these IPs going as best they can to make their movies as best they can, and they don't care whether it's profitable. They don't care how much the sales are. It's really been a train wreck in comics for a long, long time. But we came this close to having a permanent Black Batman replacement on the level of Miles Morales at DC Comics because they wanted to push that woke agenda even further. Let's see if this happens in the future and gets brought back. I mean, it's funny stuff. What a dumb concept. Obviously, that wouldn't sell. Obviously, people don't want that, but they want to force it anyway. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.